like, yeah, maybe we can first introduce ourselves.
Okay, ladies first, I guess.
You can start because right now I'm kind of nervous actually.
Okay, so I'm Josh. I'm 24 years old, and I'm working as a kind of partially remotely as a IT technician, basically IT engineer. And yeah, probably, hopefully in summer this year, I'm gonna be fully remote for at least 1 year at least, and then we'll see.
Awesome.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm Nicole, Nicole Marina. That's why you know me as Marina, I guess. That's my second name. I'm 24 years old as well. I'm living in Colombia. I was working remote before, but then I quit the job. So at the moment, I'm just like trying to find a new remote job and also just like learning new skills. That's pretty much.
Cool. What kind of work do you do?
I was working as a virtual assistant for an entrepreneur in Europe. But yeah, I just decided to go now on my own.
Cool. So how did you decide to start looking for someone?
Okay.
Okay, yeah, sure, go ahead.
I remember I saw I don't know if it was you or was someone else, but on Facebook I saw like a post and someone was talking about the app, you know, and yeah, I mean the description was like pretty good. So I said like, oh, you know, why not? I'm gonna give it a try. It sounds really cool because it was also something that I wanted to do, you know, like to meet people that is working remote as well. So maybe yeah, like you can have you can get some advices and all that. And yeah, that's when I decided like, you know what, I'm just going to give it a try. And then yeah, actually the first person that appeared to me on the app was Joshua. So yeah, I think we connected really well.
Yeah, so from my side, I would say I think I saw it on Reddit. I think it was a subreddit for digital nomads or traveling in general. I'm not sure anymore. And when I picked it up, I was like, okay, sounds interesting, because usually the classic dating apps are mostly like, you know, when there's like traveling, it's just a generic kind of thing, like, oh, I like to eat, I like food, you know. And yeah, when I saw that, this kind of Fairytrail ad on the Reddit or promotion, then I was like, sounds interesting. Not especially only for dating, but especially just for finding people also maybe remote, maybe get advices from them even, or just find people who you can, you know, connect with in general. So yeah, started up the app, and now we're here basically. Yes, so we could say. So to speak.
Did you have anyone in mind you were looking for when you first started using it, or were you just like open-minded and, you know, didn't know?
So so my first intent was definitely open-minded, just in general. I didn't have any specific like dating or someone, or like finding just person to give advice, or finding a travel partner, but just in general. But mostly for me, traveling is a big thing. I have a passion for it. And that's why I kind of try to, you know, I gave it a shot, the app, because it sounded interesting for me, because the main focus in the app is mainly on traveling and connecting over that in different ways, maybe through love then also, but or maybe through, you know, advisorship, or all these kind of different yeah, layers, I would say.
Awesome.
Yeah, for me I actually thought it was I didn't see it too much as a dating app. You know, it was more like, you know, I can make some friends, you know, that are like in different countries, or even if there is people that is coming to Colombia as well, you know, I can maybe get to know them. We can meet each other. So yeah, but I mean, I know, like at the end, you actually get to connect with, I mean, it's real people, so you get to connect with them. And yeah, like in this case, it was like also like the passion for traveling. So yeah, that's pretty much.
Awesome. And cool. So like we talked about like how you found out about us, and also like why it's like different from other apps. So do you feel like the personality character part helped you, or it didn't really play a role?
Good question. I think it depends. Some people have knowledge about the character traits, the common that they're knowledgeable for it, for Robin Hood sharing all these kind of, taking from the rich, giving the
Yeah.
poor, for example. But maybe some people don't have that impression of these characters, because I mean, characters tell a lot of, I think, a lot of different tales sometimes, and a lot of different impressions of people. And of course, some people notice fairy maybe more and than others, and of course. So
What
yeah, I
about
think,
in your case?
yeah.
Did it?
Yeah, sorry. It
Oh,
affected me. I guess a bit, yes. Not like it was not significantly, but definitely like somewhat, yes. Yeah, it kind of tells something about the character. I mean, I'm from Germany, and Fairytrail, fairies are quite a big
fairy
thing
tales?
here,
Yeah.
especially fairy tales, especially as a kid, are something here, and that's why you also know the character quite well. Since quite a lot of them are kind of from Europe and the area. So you kind of know them and the character traits. So yes, of course, it's interesting to see what people pick. And then, of course, you maybe have a good opener, like breaking the ice and asking, like, oh, why did you pick that character, for example? So that's a good opportunity to break the ice, definitely, especially when you're like mostly living digital. Like for some people, it can be difficult, I guess, connecting them to people, breaking the ice. So that's a good way, actually, to do that. Yeah. And for me, like I said, it affected me in somewhat way, but not significantly that I said, oh, okay, that person chose this character. I'm sorry, but
Right.
So,
What about you, Marina?
Yeah, I mean, I agree on that. Actually, that was like my icebreaker with Joshua as
yeah,
well. Like I didn't have to start thinking like, oh, well, should I say hi or what I'm gonna ask? I actually took it and said like yeah, why did you pick Robin Hood? Like I already have like something in mind that I can ask. So yeah, I mean that was quite good.
That's awesome. Well, I'd love to hear more about your experience matching with your partner. Can you tell us about kind of the matching experience, and then when did you start video chatting?
you want to go ahead?
Okay, so well, as I said before, Joshua was the first person that I saw on the app. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think you have to wait, until the other person pick a destination. So yeah, after that, I just decided to. I was the one who say hi or something. No, I didn't say hi. I
You
say
asked
like
like,
what, like
so
why?
you chose Robin Hood, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, okay,
So
yeah.
so yeah, I mean, we start talking, and like there is in the app, I think it says something like this app is not like it's not well developed yet to chat.
For
So
chatting, yeah.
yeah.
It's not like we didn't make like Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I told him like, well, like the app, it's not at the moment like totally developed for chatting. So I mean, do you have Instagram or something? Yeah, he sent me the Instagram, and then we started chatting on Instagram. So that I think everything moved pretty fast actually.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you see it.
And how
Yeah,
did you get to
definitely.
video chatting?
So yeah, basically, like she said, like when we went from Fairytrail to Instagram, and she instantly suggested it actually. And I was like quite funny because like I mean, yes, sometimes the Fairytrail app actually to give some feedback in that sense. And when you write, it was weird. Sometimes when I sent a message, it didn't appear. Then I opened up the chat again, and then um, I sent it again, I think, and it was sent twice or something like this. Like
Yeah,
basically, there was
it's
some kind
not
of
it's not the best.
yeah, that's no problem. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was really like I was kind of like I had to laugh about that when she like just a couple sentences after already like okay they say here that we have to go to somewhere else maybe because it's optimized. I was like, okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, so we started writing on Instagram, and after that we exchanged numbers after some time, and we started, that was the first couple of weeks where we started exchanging the phone number especially, then we first, like, of course, just writing, and then your nervous first voice message, and there's a voice match, and is it fine? And I think in the first month already we called. Could be right. Yeah, in the first month already we already called with each other a couple of times, and from then on we started calling way more often, like for hours sometimes even. And I can't recall when we started video calling for the first time, but it was, I would say, shortly after we, I think a week or something, maybe after we started calling, or 2 weeks, something like
So you
this, I
did a
guess.
voice call first and then
Yeah. At first voice
built up
messages,
to
then a
it.
voice call, and then like step by step, basically. And then we ended up video calling, exactly. Yeah.
That's so cool. Oh, by the way, did you remember where you matched? Like what destination you matched on?
Oh, that's a good
I think it
question.
was anywhere. I think it was
Was it?
anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, the lazy one.
Yeah, I think with
So,
COVID, a lot of people have been choosing anywhere just to get connected, and
yeah.
we now have a new function that allow people to skip choosing adventures because no one's
Mm,
traveling right now. It's really challenging.
yeah.
And a lot of people have requested like, yeah, we don't want to pick right now because we're not traveling. But
Mm,
before COVID, people were actually picking destinations because then it's
mm,
like, hey, we can go there. Like, let's do it, right? It's just
yeah.
more
True.
spontaneous. But now, so we're constantly changing the product. So how did you
Mm,
guys decide to meet in person and when?
mhm. So we talked about it a couple of times, just jokingly first, like saying, "Oh, you should come over to Colombia." I mean, I've never been to Latin America or like South America in general. I've only been to like North America, some parts of Asia or Africa, but never to South America. And then I was like curious, I would also like what like to experience the countries there and the people. And then we were joking around a bit like, yeah, you should come to Colombia, and you should come here, it would be nice and stuff. And after some time, we talked a bit more serious about it, and I was like, less jokingly, but more in a serious manner. And I guess it was around August, like 1 month, 1.5 months, something between, before we talked about like seriously saying like, we could try this out, and just enjoy some time together without any kind of pressure or something, just meeting up and spending time together. And I think around, in the beginning of August or something, we booked. I booked the flight with her together, basically. Like we were on call, and I told like, okay, this is this flight, and then like basically 1 month later, after I booked the flight, I went to Colombia.
Okay,
Yeah.
did Marina, did you travel as well, or was that your home city?
Me?
Mhm.
Okay, sorry, I didn't hear my name. Yeah, I mean, I have traveled before, but when Joshua came to Colombia, he came to the city I'm living in.
Okay.
So yeah, he was. I mean, technically, yeah. When I was joking, like, oh, well, you should come to Colombia. Like, you can stay with me, so you don't have to pay, like some hotel or something. It was, yeah. I mean, we were getting along really well with each other. So yeah, and I was just like, I think as he was as well, like kind of interested and curious just to get to know each other in person.
Yeah.
Awesome. And what did you guys do for your first meeting or date?
I mean, the first time we met, I think it was, I mean, obviously at the airport. She picked me up from the airport. And of course, we already had some kind of, connection built up, obviously, because we called so for hours sometimes in a row, and video calling especially also. And then we actually wanted to give each other, of course, like a first, like a big day, like hello kiss. But of course, after the flight, you're like, after I don't know how many hours it was, 18, 20 hours, let it be like that. Then yes, you're like just exhausted. You're like, let's do it later, like a bit more, bit more with preparations. So yeah, I think we went outside a couple of times, but we also visited some places in Colombia. Luckily, we also kind of, I think it was coincidence, pure coincidence, but still. And there was like Valentine's Day in Colombia. It was in the end of August, the end of August, right? At the end of September, sorry, yeah.
Yeah,
And there was a Valentine's Day basically, and we happened to be at that time in Guatapé, which is, I don't know if it rings a bell for you, but it's like a quite beautiful place, especially for couples. They also have like lodges for Valentine's Day couples and so on. And so we spent some time there, and also later on we spent some time at the Caribbean coast. That was totally spontaneous though. I like that as well, quite a lot. And so yeah, I think the first real date,
But
when
that's
was
the
it?
thing. That's the
Yeah.
thing, baby. Because actually, like we were not a couple. You know, we were just
Hmm.
two friends. They were just
Yeah.
gonna meet each other.
Hmm.
And so we can't say like, oh well, you know, like, let's have a day today, because it was just like, oh yeah, I don't know, do you wanna go have some dinner, or do you wanna go to this
Mm,
place or that place, you know? But it was never like, oh yeah, you
Yeah,
know, let's
official
have a
one.
date
not yet.
and that,
No,
yeah.
no. In
That's
October
what,
though, I think, right? I think in
yeah.
October. Yeah,
I
then we
think
had like
when,
started to have like,
yeah, when we
okay,
were more
it's
like,
mhm.
you know, that
Yeah.
this maybe can work, you know. So yeah, we
Not yet.
decided to have a date.
That's
Hmm.
awesome. And how did you mitigate the risk? Because it is a little bit risky, right? Like strangers meeting. I mean, obviously you've been
Hmm.
talking for a long time, but like how did you reduce the risk?
Okay, I guess first of all, I mean, of course, I mean, there can always be strangers on the internet talking to you, like I don't know, Michelle 23 is actually I don't know, Jamie 44 or something.
Right.
But I think eliminating those factors, I mean, you always have a risk, I think, with meeting people. Doesn't matter how far they are away from you. But of course, there are some kind of measurements you can take in order to prevent that to some extent. And I guess one of them is, first of all, of course, voice calling, actively calling, and then, of course, video calling. I think that's the biggest measurement you can actually do to prevent something like this happening. And yeah, I guess of course it's a risk for me also as well. I don't know, she could have decided against it in last second, or I don't know, get too nervous or whatever, and then I would be still in my play. I was like, But I think after some time, if you talk about it enough and you kind of build up trust as well, then the person is not going to be just abandoning you, for example, in the middle of the flight or something. And then, yeah, I guess it's no problem actually. I think it's, yeah, I mean, you have to be courageous at some point as well if you're going out that far. I mean, even if I take a flight to wherever and I want to go backpacking, that's even more courageous maybe because there's even less security, because I don't know where I'm going to sleep tonight and yeah, those things.
Yeah,
Right.
So, yeah.
I
Mhm.
think as a woman, yeah, I mean, of course, you have to video call with the person. That's um like the best tip, one of the best tips. Just video call. You are sure, you know, that the other person is actually real and it's not like some kind of catfish or something.
Mhm.
And also, like, I remember that I check social media, you know, like to see if actually like I don't know, like maybe you usually you have like some comments or you have some friends and you can check if they are real friends or they are just bots. Yeah, I mean, I actually check his social media, like maybe this a little bit of investigation to make sure, you know. And yeah, apart from that and video calling, I think, yeah, it was just as Joshua said, and it's always going to be risky. So
Yeah.
you have to you have to take the risk at some point, you know.
Yeah. I remember that I was thinking one day, like if I stay at home, I'll be 100% safe. And then there was an earthquake. I was like, oh my goodness. You can, it was like,
One comes to
yeah,
you.
sorry.
For the danger. The danger
Yeah.
comes to you basically then.
Yeah. I was like, man, if I just stay at home, I'll be like 100% safe. But yeah. So, and yeah, it's really good to mitigate risk. And yeah, I mean, now I'm curious, how long have you been dating now? And like, how are you two spending your lives?
Okay. I guess oh, so basically, yeah, the last I think we haven't really made a clear like commitment message to each other, talking about it. Like a clear commitment saying like, okay, we're a couple now, until the last day when I went home. I think, yeah, it was the last day when we clearly said like, okay, and actually at the airport, because we were of course, like, we're like calculating, not calculating, but talking about the risk and kind of a risk assessment, you could say.
Yeah.
Talking about like of course, long distance and when we're gonna see each other again and all these factors that come into play. And yeah, the last day at the airport, then we said like, okay, we're a couple now, let's do this. We can make this work. And yeah, from that day on, basically, we're kind of a couple. Yeah.
That it was official from that
And how
day.
long did
Yes,
you stay in
official.
Colombia, by the way?
Okay, so that's an interesting story as well. So basically, the original plan was to stay in for 2.5 weeks only because of vacation days also and just in general. And I ended up being there for 6 weeks. So for 1.5 months.
Nice.
So yeah, that was pretty cool actually. I mean, even though the reasons for that was a bit like stressful for both of us, because I was about to we were going to the Caribbean coast, like I mentioned before, and for 5 days spontaneously, and that's why I had to delay my flight. But the problem was, for some reason, the Air France was my airline, didn't book the new change of the flight, but showed it to me on the app. So I was like, ah, cool, it kind of checked in, everything's fine. And at the day we went to the airport, then and the new kind of changed flight date, they told us like, yeah, your flight is not connected to that ticket. The ticket is valid, but the flight is not. And so yeah, we spent like a lot of hours talking to the support or trying to reach someone to support, and that took on for a couple of days after we decided to book a new flight by our own. Where actually I paid more than the like one-way ticket back home. I paid more than the round trip
That's
to
crazy.
Colombia.
And were you able to work remotely, or like how did you manage?
I know at that point I wasn't able to work remotely with the one job. I have 2 jobs currently, and both of them are kind of remote. I'm working home office currently most of the time. But back then it was not yet possible that much because of I just started the job in August, so that was kind of like not enough knowledge actually about the customers and the company itself.
I see.
So yeah, that's why basically I still had to take more vacation days, but it's cool because both of my companies where I'm working with, that's pretty it's pretty good work-life balance and a good climate, so they are totally understandable and say, hey, it's okay, and I can catch up with the hours and so on and so forth. So that was pretty good.
Cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're running kind of
course. Oh yeah, sure.
out
Sorry.
of time, but I wanted to ask you a couple last questions. So one is, why do you think you two are so great together? And what's the plan for the future?
Okay. Yeah.
I think I don't know. It's like we're like best friends. First of all, like really like. I don't know if it's difficult to explain. I think first of all, I think it was like the connection we had at the beginning. It was like I don't know, like it was really good actually. So we were just like it was like being friendly, but at the same time a little bit flirty. So I don't know, like it's not like at the beginning we said like, oh, like we're gonna be a couple, or just totally romantically interested in you, so we actually like kind of developed some kind of friendship at the beginning, and then with the time we actually like just found out like, hey, like I think my personality matches with yours. So yeah, I don't know, like I also like the time we spent here, like we went through some different things. So yeah, at the end it was like I don't like I feel really comfortable with you. So yeah, I think that was, well, from my side, I think that was like the main reason.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely. Like the time that we had together was really great, and I loved it a lot. So I don't know, like the time we spent together, like I also felt a lot of connections between each other on different layers, and also things where I saw potential in her and she saw potential in me, I guess. And since we both also have kind of, I think, a similar point of view on the world and on life, and kind of like traveling as well, especially, we kind of felt like, yeah, there's also some connections which are basically foundation for a good future. So that we basically are able to travel together, hopefully in the future, and also, combine our remote jobs, maybe even,
Yeah. So what's the plan?
So the plan, yeah.
Well,
So-
I'm gonna go to Germany in April because Joshua's birthday is in April. So I'm gonna go in April and I'm gonna stay there. I don't know yet if it's gonna be for 2 or 3 months. So yeah, I'm just gonna be there with him, and we're gonna travel from Europe. And then after that, it's just like Joshua has to wait, because he's probably gonna become remote this summer. So the plan is like, yeah, I mean, once I'm there, we're gonna plan, like, oh, well, this is gonna happen now. Like, he's gonna come to Colombia, we're gonna travel. I mean, we don't know yet. I have to wait until I get there.
Yeah, we
Awesome.
basically already have like a Microsoft to do travel list with all the countries and the certain spots where we'd like to go, and then we can just pick one of them, and we'll see how it goes from there.
Cool. Well, I'm
Yeah,
so excited for you, and I really appreciate you sharing your story with us.
yeah.
And yeah, so happy that you found each other. And yeah,
Thank you for making the app,
Yeah,
making it
thank you so
possible.
much.
thanks so much. But yeah, we'll be in touch. Come hang out on Campfire on Facebook if you have time. Just like make posts, and like I would love to follow your travels.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you a lot.
okay.
Thanks so much. Super inspiring
Okay,
story.
Okay,
thank you.
thanks to you. Have a
Take
good
Have a great
care.
day.
day.
Bye.
Bye
Bye bye.
bye.